Well, hello everybody. I look a little bedraggled here because I just had to go out and turn on the generator. We're having a little rainstorm here and the power is about to go out. Seeker Tribute concert was canceled due to the coronavirus. And we usually are able from that concert to donate $1,500 to the soup kitchen, and they live on a really meager budget. And that $1,500 meant a lot to them. So we're going to try to raise that much this week, and through the tip jar. And so we really appreciate any donation you give. And if you'd rather give to something local, because I know there are people from all over the world, in fact, watching this, give to a local organization that feeds the hungry in your community, because there are an awful lot of hungry people these days. And today's song was requested by my good friend Helen Kivnick in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and I'm so tickled that she wanted this song because it's one of my favorites. This song, the lyrics were written by, I have to remember. The lyrics were written by the fourth grade students in Mrs. Smith and Mrs. McNeil's class at Lebanon Elementary School back in the year 2000. And they interviewed Jim McCaw, who lived on the Lebanon Green. It's the longest green in the United States to be continually farmed since the beginning. And they interviewed Jim McCaw, and he was the last dairy farmer on the Green. And they asked him all kinds of questions, and their questions and his answers became this song. So I'll just love to share it with you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I did write the melody, but the words are from the kids. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, how long have you been farming? I have been farming for 50 years. My family has been farming for 2 generations, haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon Green. It's another timer. You know, we're going to start that over again, because we can. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon Green. By the way, that's a chorus. Mr. McCaw, how long have you been farming? I have been farming for 50 years. My family has been farming for 2 generations, haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, did you want to be a farmer? I don't remember wanting to be anything else. Mr. McCaw, did you have any other job but haying the Lebanon Green? For 10 years I had a trucking business. I drove school bus. For 27 years I was drafted in the army. That's when I missed 2 years of haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon Green. Mr. McCaw, How many cows do you milk? I milk 45 cows 2 times a day. My entire herd is 70 to 80 cows that feed on the Lebanon green. Mr. McCaw, what kind of grasses do you hay? There's clover, June, and orchard grass, Timothy too. But there's mostly wild grass growing on the eastern side. I hay on the Lebanon green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon green. Mr. McCaw, what happened in your lifetime? In World War II there was a spotting shack on the green. Next I remember historical pageants held on the Lebanon green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon green. Mr. McCaw, you must hay when the sun shines. You mow, ted, and rake the hay into windrows. You haul and harvest the heart of the community, haying the Lebanon green, haying the Lebanon green. And these kids that wrote that song, they wrote the words for it, I wrote the melody. They interviewed Jim McCaw, and Oliver was his neighbor. Oliver was the 4th grader in the class that persuaded him to come and talk to us. And after they sang this song for him in a community concert for the Historical Society as part of their tercentennial celebration, they sang this song for Mr. McCaw, and he wept. He actually had tears in his eyes. And 6 weeks later, his barn burned to the ground. So these kids actually documented the last of the dairy farms on that Lebanon green here in Lebanon, Connecticut. Mr. McCaw did rebuild a pole barn, and he's raising heifers these days. And he wrote me a little note, said, "Don't worry, Sally, I'm still haying the Lebanon green." So that's nice to know. And I think I jumped the gun a little bit today, started a tiny bit early, so some of you may not have heard my little announcement, which is that this week's donations to the virtual tip jar at www.sallyrogers.com. This week's donations are all going to the community kitchen at the East Congregational Church in Woodstock, Connecticut. And that's the same church where we hold our annual Pete Seeger tribute. And this year was going to be the 7th Pete Seeger tribute, but of course we had to cancel it due to the virus. Well, we usually raise about $1,500 in that concert, which is given to the community kitchen that runs on a really bare bones budget. And they're down to just a few volunteers now because people can't make it because of the virus, but they're still serving meals. They had been serving a couple of dozen and a day, and now they're serving over 100. And it's every time that they do it. And they're in a consortium of 5 churches. Each church has a different day. And today is the day of the community kitchen in Woodstock. So they've been serving over 100 meals today. So if you could go to the virtual tip jar today and donate, that money will go to the community kitchen in Woodstock. And if you'd rather donate to a local charity of your choice that also feeds the hungry, that would be really appreciated. Some of us, like myself, are very lucky to have a roof over my head, food to eat every day, but there are many who have lost their jobs and have nothing. So anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. So thank you very much, and we'll be back here every day this week. I know a couple songs we're going to be singing. We're going to do When the Wagon Was New by request. We're going to do Lovely Agnes again in a different way by request, because my cousins keep saying, we want to hear it again, we want to hear it again. So we'll do that again. And I'm going to sing a ballad I learned from Lisa Null called Bonnie Susie Cleland. And so that's at least 3 of the 5 today, and I'll figure out some more. So thank you so much for coming today, and don't forget to visit that virtual tip jar. Stay safe, stay well. Bye-bye.